So just taking a few moments to really just settle into this moment, just to collect your energy, your attention out of the swirling of all of the thinking and planning and figuring something out, and just coming back here. You might allow your eyes to close or just soften in front of you. Just here with one another in this present moment. Just come back here. Just you might invite your breath to lengthen, just to deepen just a little bit. As always, it can be supportive if it feels okay and natural for your out breath to be just a little bit longer than the in breath. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 6, sort of thing. In through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever feels grounding and regulating for you. Just feeling the weight of your body supported by the earth beneath you. Just noticing any contact points where your feet are touching the ground. Your bottom is in your seat, maybe your back. Just bring your awareness to the sensations of these places of contact, your hands as they contact your lap. You don't have to hold yourself up or anything like that. The ground is already doing that for you. And just inviting your breath to move gently through your belly, through your heart, and perhaps a little bit up into your throat. It's like your breath oxygenating your throat. And these are the landscapes where that anger, that old stuck energy can often live. Belly, heart, throat. Places where power and love and expression converge. The human torso, which is alive. And as you just breathe naturally, you could bring awareness to any sensations that you're aware of. Warmth, cold, tightness, heaviness, contraction, numbness. Just whatever is here is welcome as a visitor, as a guest of the nervous system. No need to change them or transform them, heal them. Just to stay close, to stay present with the reality of your body, your nervous system right now. That's that curiosity, that's that devotion, that fidelity to reality as it is. And from this ground, you might just imagine that out in front of you, out in the space in front of you, or beside you, or somehow in the room with you, sitting on the bed with you, sitting on the couch with you, on a chair, that there's a presence taking form. And this presence carries the energy of your anger or of your life force, of that healthy, aggressive, vital energy, your sacred fire as a fire. It might appear as a human figure, a wise older figure, a young child figure, some other type of figure, or as an animal or an elemental force in nature, a lion, a thunderstorm, a red sun, crashing waves in the ocean, a fierce protector type figure, a mythological figure, whatever, a color, or just as some sense in some other way. And just let it arrive in whatever way it wants and needs to. And just notice how this being or this force looks, feels, moves. Do they have a posture? Is there a color associated? Is there a sound? Is there a temperature? No need to cook up anything or force something or make something happen. Just allow your imagination to show you, to reveal to you something that wants to be seen. You don't have to create it. And just taking a few breaths, conscious breaths, as you sense this figure's presence. And you might notice a whole assortment of mixed feelings or fear, curiosity, shame, warmth, interest, sense of being repelled, whatever it is. Just allow that to be here. And of course, if it feels safe enough, not perfectly safe, safe enough, you might imagine that you're somehow sitting across from this figure or this element, or perhaps both of you are seated in a quiet clearing in the forest, maybe by a fire, or could be a wide plain under a meadow, under an open sky, or just wherever. It could be a certain room in an old home that you used to live in, and just let it flow. And there's enough space between you for breath, spaciousness, differentiation. But at the same time, there is enough closeness, enough intimacy in some way for connection, for relationship. And just take a moment to sense what it's like to simply be with them, with this one, without needing to control or understand or explain anything, resolve anything. Just being with. And now you might say inwardly or out loud, if that's appropriate, I want to know you. I want to understand why you're here, who you are, and I'm willing to listen, to open to the possibility here. Of course, using your own language. And then just notice, does this being, this elemental force, whatever it is, does it have something to say? Not necessarily in words or some visual image, but is there a communication? Is there a message? Is there a memory? Is there a feeling? A color, an image? Just what happens in your body as they speak, as they communicate, as they express, or as they just stand silently. Sometimes this figure, this representation of this underlying instinctual energy, will carry a wound. Sometimes perhaps it will carry or embody a boundary that was never allowed to form. Sometimes it carries the voice of a younger part of you, still fighting to be seen, to be held, to be known, to be allowed, to be welcomed, to be safe. If it feels okay, if it feels resonant, you might ask, what have you been protecting? What are you afraid of that would happen if you let go? What is it that you need from me right now? What is it that I need to see about this situation, about this dynamic, about this time in my life? And just allow the answers or any responses to come, not necessarily as in words and concepts, though they may, but also as sensations, as images, or just a subtle kind of knowing that maybe you can't even put your finger on, or you can't even name it or articulate it right now. And if this figure seems resistant or distrustful or not available, or that's okay. And you could simply say in that case, I see you. I'm not looking to banish you or make you wrong or undo you or prematurely cut you off. I know that you too have belonged and that you belong here. Just take again a few breaths and just feel whatever's happening now as you offer this to the space, to this figure. And now you might imagine extending your hand, your heart, just as an acknowledgement of the presence. And if it feels right, if it feels resonant, if it feels natural, and no need to force this, but to open to the possibility of thanking this energy, this figure, this elemental force for what it's been carrying for you. Thank you for what you've carried on my behalf. And maybe in that, perhaps, who knows, the figure, the energy might begin to soften a little or begin to glow a little bit, or and you might, if you'd like, to just imagine, open again into the imaginal. And perhaps this one, this figure, this force hands you something. What is it? A symbol, an image, a gift. Maybe it's some kind of flame or a sword or a stone or a seed. Who knows? could be anything. And just receive it in your imagination and sense what it represents. Is it strength, clarity, courage, faith, protection? Just trust whatever it is that arises. And now just bringing your attention back to your body, feeling this energy, this sacred fire, finding its sort of rightful home or place within you as a grounded sort of vitality, not as an explosion and also not as a suppression, but in that middle as a grounded vitality, life force, life energy, a steady flame in the center of your being. And just let that flame fill your belly with warmth, to infuse your heart with compassion, to flood your throat with truth. And with these last few breaths, you could repeat whatever prayer or intention or aspiration that is resonant for you. Something like, may this fire serve love. May this power protect what is sacred. And may I express the truth, articulate the truth without harm, and hold boundaries without shame. And just a few final breaths now into that prayer. And just feeling the presence of this energy. Maybe now just a bit more known, a bit more clear, a bit more integrated. The guardian no longer banished to the deeper parts of the shadow, but slowly being invited back into the circle of the self to retake its rightful place in that larger ecology of what you are. And we'll just rest here for a few moments as the meditation, the visualization all just dissolves back into that open ground from where it came. And as you're ready, you could just allow your eyes to open. Come back into the space here.